Hey, the story's been on my mind today. It was the tale of an encounter with Tsadeh, fishhook, trail, journey, harvest, desire. And I've called the story Hazel El Pony. A time is coming, and has now come, when the true worshippers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth, for they are the kind of worshippers the Father seeks. And that's in John chapter 4, verse 23. I know her first by the sound of her body moving forward. She's flat-footed, but walks with a gentleness that makes it more slow dance than strut. Whispering, not shouting her presence. Chin down, eyes locked on the left and right of her feet, murmuring a song I can feel vibrate but can't yet hear. I didn't know sorrow could be so holy, but she takes my breath away, and I rest all of my senses on her. In this moment, she is my teacher. I've been finding my way into the first book of Chronicles and allowing myself to float on sons of, and wives of, and family after family, name after name. Sometimes I study, and sometimes I don't. Study goes left to right, but floating I can free read downwards until the Spirit says, wait. I'm listening to the heart of the chronicler, who sometime around 2,500 years ago cast a story hook into the middle of his people, longing to catch them up in remembering and in worship again. I pray, show me, chronicler, everything you saw and learnt, so that I might too remember and be caught up in worship more often than not. And right now I'm scanning names. Family, 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 tribe and clan, and then Chapter 4, an appendix. An appendix to a family. I chuckle. I wonder if that means it can be removed without being missed. If it's a silent appendix or a grumbling one. This is how my free reading grows. Perez, Hezron, Carmi, Hur, sons of Etam, Jezreel, Ishma, and Idbash, and their sister was named Hazel El Pony. Hazel El Pony. Hazel El Pony. My mouth wants to say her name over and over, and I laugh to myself again, wondering why that name didn't catch on like Ruth or Bethany and Deborah. And then I begin imagining that she had rainbow hair and a love heart stamp on her bum like the other ponies. And then I flow on. Penuel was the father of Gedor, and Ezer the father of Hushah. And then I sense the weight. The word wait, and I go back. Hazel El Pony. An appendix to a family, a sister to her brothers, an entry in a well-thrown story hook, and a call to worship. Who was she, and why is she named here? I rest on her name, waiting to see. And as I wait, I wonder, and this is when she begins to emerge, walking more slow dance than strut. Still her name is singing its melody to me, the 5 syllables a scale, so I search for any secrets it might hold. Hazel El Pony, the verb salal, to ring or be dark, and the verb panah, to turn or face. Different scholars lend their knowledge to weave a meaning between these two parts and paint a word picture of one who leans or turns toward the shadow, or who dwells in shadow, or one who leans in toward the ringing of bells. Leaning, dwelling, turning. I feel the weight of the groan and the glory she carries, and I hear the bells. They're not church bells or alarm bells. They're more like the distant sound of the bells in Christmas films when the sleigh and the reindeer are coming. Listen. Listen. Then, suddenly I know where these bells are coming from. Faint but constant in their jangling, and suddenly I'm back in the tent of meeting. I can't see through the curtain, but the ringing of bells tells me the priest is somewhere in there before the throne, and that this is a most holy day. The priest is in the secret place alone. The bells around his garments ring as he moves to signal that he is still breathing and still ministering to the presence. I see. Her step is more slow dance than strut because she is moving in love and longing, weighed down by the shadow in which she dwells, toward the bells that signal, he is here, he is here, he is here. And she moves, and as she moves, I smell the incense rising, worship. She moves in shadow, in the weight and the darkness of sorrow toward him. Darkness is no barrier to knowing. It's no reason to turn away. Darkness is no barrier to knowing. It's no reason to turn away. The bells ring, he is here, and she moves. Let this be me. Hazel El Pony. Although the name didn't catch on, there are many like her for whom the journey is more shade than light. Those who know intimately the terrain in the valley of the shadow, but who are drawn to him still. I catch her song in the wind, holy, holy, holy. She sings in harmony with the living creatures around the throne, covered in eyes, who see everything, always, and still resonate with joy. Worship is a mystery that the chronicler beckons us into with names and lists of names of those who can be our guides and mentors. This woman, sister, appendix to a family. She reminds me to turn toward the presence of the one I long to worship. That even immersed in the deepest sorrow and in the darkest shadow, I still belong before the throne. Meeting her, I know that the song I sing to him there, even in the dissonance, is sweeter for it. Khalil Gibran wrote this: the deeper that sorrow carves into your being, the more joy you can contain.